Moto 2, Jett versus Eli, outdoors finally. Initial thoughts. We'll give our initial thoughts, but it's J-Lenhart. So did we learn that Eli can compete with Jett? It's Paula, or is Paula hard to pass?
Yeah, I mean, Eli absolutely can compete with Jett. It's also been a long time, Eli's been dealing with stuff too. Eli's coming in from an injury as well. So
Yeah.
he's dealing with the same thing. Maybe, slightly different scenarios, but still he's taking time off and he's getting back into it as well. I thought Eli was phenomenal. Yes, Eli can absolutely compete. And is Paula too hard to pass? No. I mean, when you have two guys that are close in speed, it's difficult to pass. Every track is different, and sometimes it's hard to pass, and sometimes it's easier. But for one, Jett's going to be the hardest guy to pass right now anyway. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and they're close in speed, so that makes it hard to pass. But I'm excited for the rest of the season. Both those two came out swinging. We saw on screen a minute ago, Chase, which we'll get into that later. But I think we're in for some good racing for sure, at minimum.
Yeah, no, and Eli, like you said, Eli coming off an injury, Jett coming off an injury. You got to figure that, 2 gate drops, round 1 of Paula. I would say yes. Were they at 100%? Were they 100% all there? Yes, I do. But I think they're each of those riders by round 3 or 4, especially once we head east, get off the Southern California side, get to that East Coast dirt. I personally think we haven't seen them at their best. Obviously they were both on rails. That second moto, Eli pressured Jett substantially for about 20 minutes, made a few runs on them. But I don't think we've seen the best out of each of them yet. True call it beast mode, where Eli can go do that for 35 minutes. You got to figure a little bit of, say, fitness or hands or just getting back into the racing of things after a long, fairly long setback, injuries, things like that. Paula is a tough track to race. I thought Paula raced the best this year than I've probably ever seen it. I liked the layout. The track, like I said, raced well. There was opportunities to pass, but you really had to set them up. So I didn't dislike the track. Like I said, I thought the crew did a great job on the track, and the quality of dirt and what we had to race with. I mean, we had just amazing weather too. It was like 75 degrees with a light breeze all weekend. From the fans' point of view too, it was some insane racing with awesome weather. So, so I think it was a hell of a weekend there. Let's see. We have another question here. Precision Building. Do you think ET3 has the stamina to keep up with Jett, or do you think Chase is more fit?
He absolutely has the stamina. I think that second moto, Jett won around like 11 seconds or something, but Eli was there. I don't know the exact timestamps, but at 25 minutes, 20 minutes, Eli was still putting pressure on. I don't think it was a matter of fitness, maybe a little bit of race conditioning or, not have been racing for a couple months, or call it what you want. I don't think it's not a stamina thing. Eli, I mean, he's been doing this long enough, won enough championships. It's not a stamina thing. I think he's knocking the dust off, and he'll be there. He was strong at 25 minutes. So I don't know, maybe he just at the end decided, I'm done eating roost. Jett's not breaking. I don't know what, maybe he was out of tear offs. I don't know what the situation was. It's not a stamina thing. He's fine.
Yeah, I think that you got to going through what would be going through Eli's head at that particular moment. 25 minutes in, gave it hell, couldn't break him. On a gnarly, call it a gnarly, sketchy track like that. Like, I think in the back of his mind, he knows he can run that speed. Yes, did maybe Jett break him Saturday in that second moto from that standpoint? Maybe a little bit, but I think where Eli sits, he's looking at the longevity. We have what do we have? We have 10 more rounds of pro motocross. So I think he was testing the waters. Sure, if the win would have presented itself, Eli's taking it. But also, these guys Eli's a veteran. Basically, Jett is too at this point. But they're both very smart individuals on the motorcycle. So to do something stupid at this point at round one, I don't see that happening from Eli or Jett. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, which leads us right into the next question. Luke _Atkins 191. Does Tomac get Jett on softer tracks?
No, I don't think the softer tracks, play a part into that. I mean, sure, yeah, maybe, but I don't think specifically like, oh yes, Eli, wait till we get to soft dirt. No, I don't think. I mean, I think historically Eli's actually usually pretty good at hard based tracks, and especially Supercross, more speaking. But no, I don't.
So you don't think he beast mode comes out sooner or more aggressive once we get to East Coast, more loamy tracks?
I don't know that it's going to be track specific. I mean, if it is, I think we will, which I think we're going to talk about later in the show. But if it is, I think we find out next weekend at Hangtown. I was looking at some notes for the show, and Eli's the winningest rider at Hangtown. It's 7, I believe I saw on the notes here. And, it was some years ago, but he's had some of the most impressive wins we've ever seen, well over a minute. I don't recall what year that was. He was still on the Honda. He won both motos well over a minute. One of the biggest wins I've seen. So I think if you are going to see a track play into somebody's favor, I think maybe we see that next weekend. It's historically proven to be one of Eli's better rounds. So
yeah. Eli's good there. Obviously, Jett didn't perform awesome last year with that big crash. Managed the second moto with that call it just leg injury or whatever he was dealing with after moto 1 of Hangtown last year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I think it's interesting because we go Hangtown, and obviously High Point's kind of around that corner too. Colorado too, hometown for Eli. But then you get back into like places like Redbud, Southwick, Budds Creek, where I think it may promote Eli to hang it out more than maybe the West Coast side will, just because of the dirt quality and how it's set up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like you said, Eli has an amazing track record, just like Jett does at Paula, right? So we're going to Eli's race that he's won so many races at. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Very start dependent. Hangtown can be another one of those tracks that can be a little bit hard to pass on. It's going to be hot. I saw the weather. It's calling, I think, for 102 on Saturday. So that's going to be interesting also, because that adds a whole nother factor into the racing, right? Who has the grit, who has the stamina, who can deal with that heat mentally.
Yeah, sorry. And also, I looked at my notes. I misspoke. Ricky has the most wins at Hangtown with 7. Your host. RC has 7, the most of all time. Eli has 4.
Okay.
I think he's tied with a couple different people.
I think I only went 1-1 at Hangtown ever in my life. That wasn't a very good one for me.
Well, yeah, but you probably only raced it a couple times on a 450. Well, you did it the one year, but your knee was blown.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but yes, I also saw it's supposed to be real hot. So
yeah. Well, that's it for the fan questions we have right here in this segment. Thank you for the fan questions. Always get those into the DMs. Jade will go through them. We actually all go through them and pick what we add to the show every Monday.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.